Oh, hello, Year 4. I was just thinking about you. I can't quite believe that we've reached the last week of this school year. I was just thinking about all the wonderful things that you've done this year and how hard you've worked, both in school and at home. Do you remember Jack? We helped him by finding out whether it was a good idea to build next to a floodplain. Do you remember that? Down at the River Stour and Puxton Marsh. Well, I saw him a few days ago and he started to build houses now in a much more appropriate place, thanks to you and your help. Well, he was telling me that in his job he uses maths all the time, especially his times tables. And he was telling me he's so glad that he's learnt them when he was in school. He's recorded another message and has another challenge for you, but this time it's a maths challenge. Let's have a listen to it. Come on, off we go.
Hello Year 4. Thank you so much for your help earlier on this year. I now know that it is not a good idea to build on a floodplain. As a result, I have looked into other options that are more suitable. I use times tables a lot in my job. For example, yesterday I was having to work out how many bricks I needed and how much they would cost. It is vital that I know my times tables, and I am so glad that I learnt them in school. So, I have a challenge for you. Over the summer holidays, before you move into Year 5, would you be able to practice your times tables as much as possible? Thank you.
How lovely to see Jack again. He's right, we use times tables lots in everyday life. Here we've got lots of different words that we use when we're thinking about multiplication and times tables, and you might well remember some of these from our displays in the classroom. Let's have a look at an activity that will help you to complete Jack's challenge. Off we go. We're going to have a look at a game which is on the Enrich website. You can search Enrich multiplication tables matching cards to find it. The aim of this game is to match pairs of cards using your times tables knowledge. You can play it on a tablet, laptop or a phone as an interactive game, or if you prefer, I've sent the game as a paper copy where you could print the game or you could make your own cards. So here's the online game. Now you can play this on your own or with a partner. You need to click on a card to turn it over and then click on another one. If the two cards match, they will stay face up and you could win a point if you want to. If they don't match, they will return to being face down. The game ends when all the cards have been matched in pairs and the winner is the person with the most points. Here, I've started to play the game with my daughter. She's won a point because she's matched 8 times 6 and 48. I've won a point because 8 times 3 is the same as 3 times 8. There are alternative ways to play the game which are listed on the website. So here's the paper version of the game, and this has been sent out on parent mail. If you can't print the cards, you could make your own. So to start with, you could play a matching game with the cards face up so that you just focus on finding the answers to the times tables. Incidentally, in this game, you just match the calculation to the answer. Whereas on the online game, that allows you to match two calculations, such as 8 times 3 and 3 times 8, as we saw earlier. Then you could turn the cards over like the online game. Could you play with a different scoring system? So, for example, you could start with 100 points and lose 10 points when the cards don't match, but you add 50 points when they do. Could you change the game a bit by playing against the clock and beat your personal best time? You could also play a game of Snap, which will really help you to practice your tables. Shall we have a go? We haven't got Snap yet. Oh, Snap! Look, 5 times 4 is the same as 20. So I get to keep the cards. Let's have another go. Here's an extra hot challenge that requires you not only to use your knowledge of multiplication, but also division, addition and subtraction. This has also been sent on parent mail. Start with 0 at the start square and you can follow any route from the start to the end. But the challenge is, can you find a route that totals exactly 100? And to challenge yourself further, which route has the highest total and which route has the lowest total? Remember, you need to start with 0 every time. Pause the video here and join me when you're ready to check your answers. Here is the answer sheet to the maze challenge. Remember, this is an extra hot challenge, so well done if you've persevered with this. There are 2 routes that total 100. Remember, you needed to start with 0. One possibility is 0, add 6, then multiply that answer by 7, then subtract 6, then multiply by 3, and then finally subtract 8, which equals 100. The other possibility is 0, add 9, and then multiply that answer by 7, and then when you get that answer, divide by 3, and then multiply by 5, and then subtract 5, which also equals 100. The route giving the highest total is 0, add 9, multiply by 7, subtract 6, multiply by 7 and subtract 8, which equals 391. And the route giving the lowest total is 0, add 6, multiply by 7, divide by 3, multiply by 3 and subtract 8, and that will give 34. When you search multiplication tables on the Enrich website, you'll get lots of games to choose from. When you've completed today's activity, you could have a look for another game to help you to practice your times tables. To continue practicing your times tables over the summer, remember you can always go back to our YouTube channel and go to our playlist, the Year 4 playlist, to find times table counting stick activities. So here you can see Mr. Preston is focusing on the 8 times table and Mrs. Smith is focusing on the 9 times table. Remember, as well as these games to help you, you always have TT Rockstars to help you to practice your tables. Speaking of TT Rockstars, let's find out who has been working really hard this week. And here are the class winners, and these children have earned the most coins in the last week, and this was at the time of recording. So we have Jacob P in 4M, Ella M in 4B, Caden P in 4S, and Bailey TM in 4EP. Well done everybody, you've worked extremely hard, that's wonderful. And the best class on My Maths this week goes to 4EP. Well done 4EP, brilliant. So that's it for this week. Keep practicing your times tables so that you'll really impress your Year 5 teachers, and Jack of course, but more importantly, you're developing a skill for life. So I hope you all have a wonderful summer break. Take care and stay safe.